Welcome to Dextor Plays Rebuild 3 Gangs of Deadsville, a game by Sarah Northway and Northway Games. Welcome to the Rebuild 3 guide for Monkey Blood and the True Cure. Some things to know about the True Cure. You need to get the research in Wentachee. The Wentachee. This will require you to be friendly to one of the factions and they'll send you out to find it. The European data dump from Penticton, here. And there's 3 cities you cannot get monkey blood from. You cannot get it in Vancouver, Abbotsford, or Snoqualmie in the first one. Okay? Anywhere else you have the chance for monkey blood. The first thing you're going to need to get, something you want to bring with you, is going to be a cricket bat. Let's get in here, I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, we're in Chilliwack. This is the last city you have a chance of getting the Monkey Blood quest in. One of the things you'll see that I brought in with me underneath Brandy, she's got the cricket bat with her. Looks like that. To get the quick cricket bat, just do the cricket bat quest. Looks like this. Okay. So now that we've got our prerequisite for coming into the city with us, the next thing we're going to want to do is we need to find a motel and a mall with loot in it, secure it by surrounding it, throw in some stakes in the middle so nothing spawns in it, and then leave it. We cannot claim it because we're going to claim it later, but we're going to stage those 2 things. Once we've done that, we need to prepare our town with at least 5 schools to be able to get another quest. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to go ahead and push out. I'm going to surround those items, assuming that they're here. Not always guaranteed, but I'm going to try to find it and surround it and go from there. So just give me a minute. Welcome back to Chilliwack. I've prepped this for the Monkey Blood quest. As you can see, I've got my 5 schools here. And I've got I've actually got 2. I've got a motel here that's just got food in it. I got a motel here that's got food and loot. I think I need the loot, so we're doing that. And I got a mall with loot in it as well. As you can see, I've captured everything around them, but I have not taken these 2 tiles or 3 tiles. And I've thrown stakes in there to keep the zombies from spawning. In addition to that, I've got myself a little zombie pen over here where I'm keeping my zombies, because I'm going to need that here in a second. So there's 4 things we need to satisfy on the first stage of the Monkey Blood quest. 2 of them need to be satisfied for us to get Gretchen, and then we have to do some research. So if we look here on the research, you'll see that I've got everything here except for signposts. Once you do signposts, you have the chance to get Gretchen once 2 of the 4 things are satisfied, and then once that's done, you've got 30 or 40 days to get the whole thing done. Because of that, you don't want to initiate the signpost and get Gretchen until you're ready for her. So the first thing you want to do is I build up the 5 schools here, then go and drop your guy like this into these different places and just talk to these people, meet with them, and you will eventually get that quest for the fiction books. And we'll take a look at that. Once you have at least 5 schools in your fort, you can go around and ask the various friendly factions. You just keep talking to them, and eventually you'll get this quest. Rufus and I got to talk about the importance of education. He was impressed to hear that we have a whopping, in my case, 6 schools in our fort, and he says he's got some old books we can stock with our library with. So you get an option of the things you want. You want to pick fiction books. And in here you'll get this. Mostly trashy romance novels, but somehow somebody's diary slipped in there. It stated the year of the outbreak with the name I.G. Van Newton on the cover. It's in Dutch, I guess? Wegmech Ruben, Hendrik Kerk, Terug uit Haiti, Binnenkort het is whatever. All I understand are the names Ruben, Hendrik, and Haiti. That's the last entry. Somebody wrote contagion, contagion, contagion all over the rest until they were too dark to read. Kind of creepy. So with this, now you'll have the the romance novel. Now with that one done, the second thing we're going to do is we want to get somebody hurt. Yeah, you heard me right. We're going to go get somebody injured. I'm going to take Albert here. We're going to throw Albert over here. And the whole idea is to put him in with some bodies. And you're going to put him right out here. And hey, go in there and start killing things. What this is going to do is it's going to cause this roaming mob to come over and run him over. And when he does, we're going to get an event. So let's go ahead and do that. Boom. Oh, come on. You guys are supposed to be doing some damage. Do some damage. Nope. You didn't do it. You are active. Oh, it's an active engineer. My bad. My bad. Find an engineer. You. Come here. I need an engineer. You go in there. Alright, you go there. There we go. Now we're going to get it. Waha! Old news. Now this is the newspaper. A mob of the Zed attack us while we were out killing zombies. I should have been watching, but I had my nose stuffed in an old newspaper with the headline, Zombies, where do they come from? Being such a curious woman of science, I had to know. Apparently, I read a Dutch cult named the Tulip Bloom Collective took credit for creating it. They said they wanted to cleanse the world of the evils of capitalism. So you got two choices here. You're getting run over by Zeds, but you can read on or you can run, you idiot. They're zombies! You want to read on. Okay, so click read on. But this reporter for the Chilliwack Times thought the cult lied and they had nothing to do with it. The evidence? The first reported cases were weeks earlier from Dodenacker Hospital in the small town of Wentachee, which had no connection to the cult. They quarantined 2 patients named Reuben Williams and Hendrik van Houten. But I guess the disease still got out somehow. Fascinating. Oh, right. Zombies! Gotta run! So now you've gone through that. You've got the newspaper. Okay, so you've got 2 of the 4 things completed. Now we are going to go over here and we are going to research signposts. Zip. We'll talk to get out of it. There we go. Now we're going to attract survivors, and this is going to get Gretchen von Newton to come out and say hi to us, and I'll just keep doing the searchlights and things to get some bodies. So now we're waiting for Gretchen to come over and say hi to us. So I will fast forward, or I will cut to the point where Gretchen joins us. So, that didn't take too long. Here's Gretchen. We found a woman was hanging around outside our gate today. She put her cupped hands out to beg for food and seemed skittish when I approached. She'd been out there alone for a while, and I guess the world took its toll. After a cup of hot soup, she nervously told me about herself. She was a scientist from Europe, stranded here by the disease. She saw our signs and hoped we could help. When I asked her to join us, her eyes misted over and she nodded. Welcome, Gretchen. I hope you find happiness here. This is Gretchen von Newton. Let's go take a peek at her. There she is. Hello, Gretchen. She's going to be a bookworm. And you can pick whatever. First aid. Done. Bookworm. Done. There we are. And we'll give her some stuff. I got a lot of cricket bats. I'm going to give her one of those, even though you don't need to. Matter of fact, let me not do that because it's going to be distracting. So we'll give her that, and we'll give her a terrible comic. There you go. Now she is a badass researcher. I wonder, can I do 2 researchers at the same time? I can. Nice. I can't do that one, but I can do this one. So we'll have her do some research. So now the next 2 things I'm going to want to do is I got somebody wounded at the moment. I'm going to want to keep wounding somebody because somebody has to be in the hospital the whole time because Gretchen's going to go in and take a look at that person. But I have 2 more things now to do. One, I need to look at this unclaimed mall and scavenge it with a level 10 scavenger. And I've got one sitting right here. You can have level 10 with gear. So you don't have to have a straight skill of 10. As long as the total comes out to be 10 or better, you're good. So let's go ahead and hit the mall and scavenge that sucker. Now this is going to cause me to go to a pet store. I'm going to get done early. Boom. Shopping spree! Ah, the mall. Undead lining up on the escalators, patiently waiting for them to move again. They window shop, leaning their foreheads against the glass, moaning with desire at the goods within. It's a fine line between pathetic and hilarious. I finished work early due to my fantastic skill. There's the level 10 or better. Scavenging everything from the obvious shops, sporting goods, bakeries, etc. Since we have time, we should check out some of the smaller shops. Now you can go to the toy store, you can go to the pet store, you can kill zombies. Go to the pet store. Pet stores are a sad place now. Animals dead in their cages, starved, dehydrated. Oddly, all the rats, hamsters, gerbils, and guinea pigs were missing from their cages. Also, the section labeled primates was completely bare. Weird. Whoever took the animals scattered pieces of paper everywhere like they dropped them accidentally. Looks like research by an anthropologist named Dr. Van Newton. Something about Haitian ceremonies, voodoo rats and monkeys, who knows? Alright, so now that we've done that, we've got another piece of clue. The last thing we need to do is we need to get Mr. Gustav, who's usually down here. Now I'm going to wait for that bozo to show up. So as soon as Gustav shows up, oh, we're coming to get you, Barbara. No, go away. As soon as Gustav shows up, which he's been doing pretty regularly, I'm going to sell him the cricket bat. You can actually do that first, along with the getting the quest. Those are probably the two best ones to do early. Alright, so now that we've done that, we'll put him back here and do some farming. And I'm going to grab him out and go ahead and capture that mall. There's Gustav. So now, where am I? Here I am. Dex is going to go talk to Gustav. We're going to do a trade, and we're going to sell him a cricket bat. Yes, thank you for the searchlights. Do you need anything? He says, not for me, but as many people who will buy medicine for my caravan. I will give you a good price for it. No, I want to give you, dude. I'm going to give you a cricket bat. Here, just give it to you. Gustav was very interested in the cricket bat I traded him. Game of the gentleman, he laughed at my surprise. Yes, even in Ukraine they have it, but not so much in this country. I am remembering a doctor from many months ago here in Chilliwack. Very strange person, very strange in the head. Loves the cricket also. We talk much about it. If I see this Dr. Van Newton again, I shall give it this cricket bat. Excellent. So now we've done all four of these things. Alright, so that's all four of the initial stages of the monkey quest. We've got Dr. Van Newton over here. There's Gretchen. I think actually if you, I don't know if you can actually bring her up. Is there somewhere? Yeah, it doesn't, there's nowhere it actually tells you, but this is actually Dr. Gretchen Van Newton. She's going to find ourselves one of these people who are wounded. And so, let's just keep throwing bodies in here. Really, at this stage of the game, we don't care if somebody bites the dust. They probably won't. There's a wounded. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull pull her out. And we're just going to keep somebody here in the hospital. No thanks, man. I don't want to reclaim a building. That's actually a pretty cool perk to reclaim a building, but I don't need it. Pause. Throw a body in here. Go ahead. Hurts. Excellent. Somebody else is in the hospital now. I'm just going to keep cycling them in there. Gretchen, do your thing. It's a nice river. Alright. Woohoo! Here we go. The Immaculate Infection. Gretchen woke me up early. She's been caring for Lup Romanov, who was recovering from an injury. Though the prognosis was good, when Gretchen checked on him this morning, he was very sick. High fever, white spots in his mouth, bloodshot, dilated eyes. All the signs of a zombie disease. I'm afraid it's too late to do anything but make him comfortable. The weird thing is, there are no bites on his body, and he's had no contact with Zeds in 48 hours. We don't know how he caught the disease. It's very upsetting. Yeah, I know how he caught the disease. Little Miss Frankenstein here did it. Alright, so now that we've had that happen, the next thing we're going to wait for is we're going to wait for her to leave. She's going to just pack up and go. Oh, look, I can hire some muscle. No, thank you. You know, when you hire the muscle, by the way, you can't just click on regular territories here that these guys own and claim it. So hiring the muscle is kind of fun to do that with. Alright, let's see. Do some more research. Fireworks. And so I'll wait here until Gretchen leaves. Okay, so now Gretchen's decided to leave. Anger management. We're having trouble with Gretchen, like many of us. She has trouble controlling her emotions, but it's gotten worse and worse since she joined us and just reached a new level of bad. She and Kaz Belkis Blair were cleaning out a storeroom when they found a rat eating through a sack of rice. Kaz killed it, then Gretchen went ballistic. She attacked, ripped out chunks of Kaz's hair, and then tried to take out one of his eyes with a pair of shears. Kaz barely fought her off. What do we do? So you can try to talk to her to have her say, or you can ask her to leave. Either way, it doesn't matter. So we're going to ask her to leave. Get the hell out of here. It was hard to do it, but I sat Gretchen down to talk about many options other than living with us. Maybe another faction would take her? Or maybe some people are just better off alone. I mean, she won't even let other people touch her. The woman has some real issues, not even counting the attempted eye removal. Gretchen heard me out, then sighed and said it was probably time. She was gone by nightfall. I feel bad, but we have to worry about the rest of the fort too. I hope she'll be okay out there. So now she's out. She's history. She's gone. Let's pause here for a second. She took the items with her, and she stopped her research. God, that's unbelievable. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to take a look at the motel. Now, I am not positive about who has to be in this so I'm going to take my best people. I'm going to take Matthew. I'm going to take me. I want a nice solid researcher there. And we'll take one of the good fighter types. You. Actually, you're getting attacked a lot. You come with me, sir. You come with me. All right, so now we're all here. We're going to go in and we're going to loot this place right here. Okay, so she's gone. We waited until she left. Now we're going to scavenge this place. And we should find her sitting in the hotel. Pack of dogs. Yeah, yep. Woohoo! Ed's End of the Line Hotel. The rooms were wood-paneled and accented with lime green and vomit orange and horrible 70s design. The motel was mostly empty, but in one room, a suitcase with the initials IGVN. Ooh. Something Gretchen Van Newton? Made my scavenger senses tickle. I dug through the clothes and found a soft-bound book titled Aluata Seneclusis by Dr. Van Newton. It's a study on some kind of South American monkey. The margins are filled with scribbled notes, drawings of brains, and repeated phrases in Dutch and English. They used 4 different colored highlighters. Yeah, I'm going to search the rest of the room. There was a phone book on the desk open to a list of medical facilities. Woodlands General Hospital is highlighted in green, and its address is circled over and over until the pen started to cut through the pages. Was I.G. Van Newton sick? It was an address nearby. Maybe we should head there to investigate further. I'm dying to know if Van Newton can tell us where the zombie disease came from. Well, here's something interesting. You'll notice I've taken over pretty much the entire map. The game is going to add a hotel or had a hospital for me to go do my thing with. So if we back out here and we take a look around, pop, look at that. There it is right down there. So we're going to go on down here and we're going to take a look at this. Search it. That is Woodlands General. They quarantined this hospital early on, boarding up the doors and windows and stringing police tape everywhere to keep the looters out, or keep whatever was inside from escaping. We pried the boards off the front door and made our way through the silent, blood-smeared halls to reception. They used a confusing system that referred to patients by their initials, for patient confidentiality, I assume. There were 4 who might be our I.G. Van Newton, which we should check out first. So we got the violent homeless man, the man claiming he was cursed, the coma patient, the woman with the space rock. So let's take a look. So we'll just go through some of these. The violent man. Bloodstains covered the bed and floor where the disemboweled remains of a former patient were still strapped to the jerk gurney. Judging from the bite marks, looks like somebody ate this guy for dinner. Piecing through the scattered patient records, it looked like Iggy Valentine was a regular here. After 5 visits of substance abuse, the doctor figured this was the last time they'd see him walk through the doors upright. They were right. Not Van Newton. We'll have to keep looking. Man claiming he was cursed. This patient's room was covered in bird droppings and leaves blown in through the open window. Flipping through the patient's report, it seems Ian Vickers came in claiming he'd been inflicted with a voodoo curse, and the doctor's evaluation was that he was unstable and prone to delusions. He was still lucid enough to make a fight or flight choice when the undead came for him. From the stains on the car roof 4 floors below, we've got a good idea how the flight went for him, but not Van Newton. We'll have to keep looking. Coma patient. This room is empty and nearly spotless. No body, no blood. I expected to find at least one zombie. But we did find Dr. Van Newton. Sort of. According to her chart, Isa Gretchen Van Newton came in very distraught, complaining of an infection of the brain and glands and insisting she get a full set of blood work done. The nurses had a hard time calming her down, and of course, they didn't believe her. Then it says she collapsed, just boom, on the floor of the waiting room, unconscious. We're going to read the rest of the chart. They moved her to this room and took readings. Normal pulse, normal breathing, normal brain activity, normal. Was she faking it? She didn't flinch when they drew blood. Hemoglobin normal, white blood cell normal, platelets normal, glucose, calcium, electrolytes all normal. What was wrong with this woman, if anything? That night she disappeared. The last entry was a notice to locate her, as several nurses who treated her were now very ill. They were worried Isa might have caught something from them. Ooh. Check through the cupboards. I guess nobody got around to looting this room. The cupboards were still packed full of medical supplies. I'm sure we can find a use for them. No other clues about Isa Van Newton were there, though. Her records just say Holland. Besides, Ed's end-of-the-line motel, I wonder where else she might have gone after leaving the hospital. Let's go through the garbage. Gum wrappers and gas recipes balled up, menu with a bullet buffet called Uncle Willie's, with ramblings in all the blank spaces and 3 colors of pen and highlighter. Looks like our IG Van Newton. What else is in here? A business card from a man in the anthropology department of the Chilliwack College, a campus map of the same place, a letter inviting Van Newton to lecture there. Bingo! The campus is nearby. We should head there and search for Van Newton. Woohoo! So, here again, if I look around, it's going to add, right? Yep, there it is. It added a school right over there. So let's go over and take a look at the school. I'm not gonna watch this because this is my zombie field. Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna have to deal with this. You guys, lock them down. Yeah, they are smart. Sure. Isa Van Newton. We followed the campus map to Dr. Van Newton's office in the anthropology department. The invitation we found said she'd come from Holland to teach a course in ritual and modern culture. The disease must have hit halfway into her term and stranded her here. We knew something was wrong when we got close. The rest of the building was deserted, but here the scent of desiccated flesh was intense. And something else. A funky incense smell like burned garden waste. Dirty footprints led up to the door of room 308. Her office? The door stuck on something, so we had to slip through the crack, and we held our noses. Every square inch of the wall had notes pinned to it. Repeated phrases, why me, why me, why me? Long stories in Dutch and sketches of human and animal anatomy in various colored pens. Some of it was written right into the wall. And there were muddy handprints and what might be dried blood incorporated too. It looks like a serial killer's den. We were getting nervous. Let's investigate further. Dead rodents all around us on the floor and in cages. Some had places in little shrines with candles and tiny figures made from sticks. Bundles of herbs had been burned regularly, either in ritual or to cover the smell of decay. All of this, one little unventilated office. After a minute of gawking, we found Isa. She was bundled in blankets under a desk, filthy and wild, but alive. She eyed us suspiciously. There was something familiar about her. That's it! She was Gretchen the engineer. She used to live with us. What should we say to her? We could say, we were nice to you, remember? Gustav's told us you like cricket. You are Hendrik. Who are Hendrik and Reuben? And what's this all with the dead rats? So let's go through the dialogue. We were nice to you, remember? I remember, she mumbled. It was my fault. Loop, that man who died, I should never have touched him. Should never have left this place. I'm infected. She bundled herself further under the desk. You can't detect it. I tried once at a hospital. I pretended. They drew my blood and said I was healthy, but I'm not. So go away. I'll infect you too. Gustav told us she liked cricket. Her eyes kind of lost focus. When I was a child in Holland, my father took me to cricket matches. Hendrik, my husband, was also fond of the game. Isa trailed off and then looked sad again. She pulled a long knife from under her blanket and started stabbing it slowly into the floor. He was so angry when he found out, she whispered. He could never forgive us. Who are Hendrik and Reuben? Reuben was my lover. She stared sadly at the floor. My husband Hendrik was away so often. His long research trips to Haiti. It just happened. Hendrik was not an anthropologist like me. He studied voodoo. When he discovered I was cheating on him, he brought something back with him from Haiti. The blood of an animal. He meant for both of us to die, but I did not. What's with all the dead rats? She threw her hands over her face, scratching and sobbing. I injected them with my blood. I'm trying to find a solution, but they didn't live. Like all the people, I killed them. Isa cried for a while and then said quietly, I'm no biologist. I tried ceremony next. Maybe ritual was the key. I read all his notes. She reached into her blanket and threw a notebook at us. You can have them. Now go away before I kill you too. Let's read the notebook. It was Hendrik Van Newton's notes from his final trip to Haiti. In crisp English, he studied a voodoo bukur, a black sorcerer who claimed to raise the dead. When a client paid him to target someone, he would sneak monkey blood into the target's drink. The target would fall ill and die, then come back to life as a docile and easily controlled zombie. A revenge worse than death for your enemies. The procurer raised red howler monkeys, Alouetta senculus, whose blood he said was magical. Hendrik was determined to bring samples back to Holland. Continue? But I did, she shouted, stabbed the floor harder. When my husband poisoned us, I didn't know. Reuben was quarantined, but I was fine. I didn't know I had it too. When Hendrik also fell ill, I read his notes and knew he poisoned Reuben. But the disease was different with Hendrik. He was violent. He never guessed it was me who infected him. I didn't think. I ran. Spain, India, China, Japan. Then here. I infected them all. I killed the whole world. She raised a knife over her chest. Stop her! I jumped forward and grabbed the knife from Isa's hand. She burst into tears again and doubled over in her blanket, sobbing. Patient zero, or more like Typhoid Mary of zombieism. No wonder she can't live with herself. The problem is, she can't live with us either. It's too dangerous. We quietly backed away and left Isa there. We came back the next day to leave supplies, but there was no sign of her. We left a vial of dark liquid. As we left, a vial of dark liquid and a letter fell out of the back of Hendrik's notebook. We took it back and translated it. My darling Isa, I know I have been away too long and your eyes have wandered in my absence, but I'm bringing home a substance that will make you mine again, body and soul. After I put it in your drink, you will feel a fever, but you will wake and love me again with the devotion of the early days. Done. Alrighty. So now, I believe we've got monkey blood. Yay! Yay, monkey blood! No, I don't want that. Thank you. Alright, so that completes the quest for the monkey blood. I'm going to take these guys over here, and I believe I've got one group left to meet with and make them all nice and friendly. Alliance, thank you. Go do an alliance, and then we get to leave out of here. So the next step for me is to go into the next city, talk to the pharmacists, make the true cure, and then go into Vancouver and get the true cure ending. Thanks for watching another episode of Dexter Plays. Please leave a like or subscribe and post any tips or tricks down below.